Facebook. Okay, okay. It looks like we are live. Hello, 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 everyone. Let me actually take this off of here. Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another episode of Richie 360 Life and Business. I am your host, Monica Matthews, also CEO of Richie 360, which is the umbrella brand of Richie 360 Business Academy, as well as Flav Crave Vegan Cookie Co. This episode is sponsored, of course, by Richie 360 Business Academy. So if you are in the startup phases of your business, then stay plugged in because we have courses and resources, especially for you. Okay. So tonight, guys, we have another amazing guest. I'm super excited. If you have been plugged in, you know that we bring entrepreneurs who are just making waves in their industry, and we like to showcase them because there's somebody out there who can glean from their knowledge, their wisdom, information, and just see what's possible. Okay, so if you are new in business, and if you have an idea and maybe you haven't started yet, then stay plugged in because I guarantee you will get some information that will help you to make that first step or to help you continue making steps, okay, in your business. So as you are coming in, go ahead and share this out. We appreciate it. We want as many people as possible to get the message and just the business nuggets that are going to be presented tonight by our guests, and we are super excited. So I'm going to actually take a second to share this out myself, and we will then get on into it. Also, as you're coming in, if you have questions or comments for our guest, or if you just have something that you would like to add to the conversation, then feel free to put that in the comment section as well, and we will be sure to address your comment. And then also just let us know where you're tuning in from. We love to hear where our listeners and our viewers, if you are here on Facebook, are tuning in from, okay? So give me 1 second, guys, to share this out, and then we will jump into it. And again, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. Come on in, come on in. And for some reason, I'm having the most difficult time sharing this right now. But we're going to make it happen. We are going to make it happen. I'm going to just do this. Okay. We're going to go out. I think I'm moving way too fast. Thank you, Anissa, for sharing. I appreciate that. I'm having like technical difficulties. I think I'm just moving too fast. So let me slow down a little bit here. There we go. And then I'm going to tag Miss J. Brielle. And then we're going to get into this conversation because I am super excited. There we go. There There we go. I think we did something there. All right. Okay. All right. So let's get on into it, guys. Again, tonight we have the amazing Miss Jordyn Wright. Also, she is the owner and CEO of Brielle Handmade. Or I'm sorry, let me get this right. Look, guys, let me pull up the bio because this deserves all of the proper explanations. Okay, we have Miss Jordyn Wright. She is the founder and CEO of Brielle Handmade Goods, which is a natural bath and beauty brand made exclusively for tweens and teens. She believes that how teens care for themselves is directly related to how they feel about themselves. Every teen is encouraged to practice self-care and to use their unique beauty, talents, and passion for purpose driven initiatives that impact their community. Jordyn champions these ideals in her recently released book, The Clean Truth About Starting a Business for Teens. She has also partnered with national organizations such as Junior Achievement to promote financial literacy and entrepreneurship among youth. Jordyn gives back to her community each year by hosting an annual Christmas fundraiser to support underserved families during the holiday season. She has been featured on Click to Houston, Houston Life, Houston Family Magazine, Kids Newsmaker Magazine, and honored by Fashion Entrepreneurs of Houston and National Playmaker Awards. So without further ado, guys, give a virtual silent hand clap to our guest, Miss Jordyn Wright. Welcome, Miss Jordyn.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited for today.
Yes, you are welcome. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day, because I'm sure you're busy between school and running a business. That just has to be amazingly busy, huh?
Yeah.
I can imagine. So let's just jump right into telling people a little bit more about what it is that your business offers, and then how people can also contact you or get a hold of your products.
Yeah. So my business is, like she said, Brielle Handmade Goods, and I am located in Houston, Texas. And I create beauty products. So I create bath bombs, lip balms, lotions, body butters, and more. And they're all natural. And so they're created for teens like me because obviously, like you said, I want teens to think about how you take care of yourself is directly related to how you feel about yourself. And so I like to do this through my products. And also, I also have a book that I created, and that also talks about being motivated and how you care for yourself is directly related to how you feel about yourself. So just teaching that is also what I do. And my book, and my products, you can get those at my website on jbriellehmg.com. And you can also contact me on Instagram at jbriellehmg and on Facebook at jbriellehmg. And you can email me at jbriellehmg@gmail.com.
Awesome. And then we will make sure that we have the clickable link in the comments so people can go directly there and check your store out. It is awesome. So, Jordyn, what prompted you to start this business? First of all, I just want to say that it is awesome because you don't see too many teens starting their own businesses. I know when I was a teenager, I was just worried about school and activities at school. Having a business was not even something that was on my mind. So you're here, you're making it happen. What started the whole idea?
Yeah, so when I was younger, I had eczema, and so that made it difficult for me to access all the products that I wanted. So products like the bath bombs, the bath bombs at like Claire's and Justice, they all had like a lot of colors and harmful ingredients, like chemicals that were harmful to my skin. And so obviously I couldn't use them. And all of the natural products that I was allowed to use, they were like for adults, and they smelled boring, and they just had such boring designs. And so I wanted to make my own that were fun and smelled good, just like the ones that you see at Claire's or Justice or Lush. So yeah.
I love it. And so, you guys who are listening, I want you to pick up what she just kind of put down, a little nugget. she compared how her brand is better than her competitors. She said, we have X, Y, and Z, just like X, Y, and Z. So as you are starting your business, I want you to also be aware of who your competition is so that you know what makes you different and how you can stand out. So Jordyn, okay, so not only are you the founder and the CEO of this amazing bath and beauty and spa brand, but you have also written a book to help others. So tell us a little bit about the book, ma'am.
Yeah, so the book that I wrote is about is teaching teens how to create their own businesses. And so I do this in two ways. So the first thing I talk about is your mindset. So obviously, when you are becoming an entrepreneur, mindset is extremely important, and it is something that I personally struggled with. And I know that some teens may definitely need guidance with this. So I wrote my book on how to get the right mindset. So motivation, inspiration, and passion. So getting the right mindset so that you can be an entrepreneur more easily, and so that you don't give up as easily. And then I also talk about how to actually execute a business. So I talk about like budgeting and your target market. So just like the technical things about it, so that because I know I really struggled with a lot of these things. And while my mom did have her own business, we were both kind of going through it together. So we were learning together. And I know that it would have been really helpful to have a book like mine to help me with some of these struggles. So that's why I wrote it, kind of to help other teens, because I know it can be really difficult to start your own business. But with my book, I think it would have been much easier for me if I had had it before. So yeah, and you can get it on my website. And if you get on my website, you can get a signed copy, and I will actually write a message for your teen. And you can also get it on Amazon. However, if you do get it on Brielle, then I can give you a signed copy and a personal message. So,
and then drop us the website again too, Jordyn, for that.
Yeah, so it's www.jbriellehmg.com, and I'm also going to be putting it down below so that you guys can get access to easier.
Awesome. And so now this might be in your book, but can you give us like a little sneak peek, maybe 3 pieces of advice that you would give to teens or someone who is thinking about starting their own business as a teen?
Yeah, so the first thing I would say is find your passion. So obviously, the whole point of being an entrepreneur for me is to do something that you love and earn money while doing it. So find your passion, and if you are doing something that you don't like, it's just gonna make it more difficult for you to stay motivated, and actually like you're not gonna have a purpose behind your business. And also, my second point is have a purpose behind your business, because if you are doing your business just for money, you're going to lose motivation really easily. And you also won't be able to help as many people, because some people might really need your product, But if you quit because you're just in it for the money and people aren't liking your product, or then you won't be able to help as many people and you'll quit easier. And also persevere. Like I said, you will quit easier if you don't have a passion or purpose. So you need to persevere, because there will be a lot of people who will tell you no. And being an entrepreneur is just a lot of mistakes. Like 90% of the business journey is mistakes. So it'll be really important for you to persevere through that, because like I said, some people really need your product, or they'll need you, because you can be an inspiration to someone else. And if you just quit, then maybe they'll think, maybe I can't do this. So it's very important for you to persevere as well.
I love that. And those are great pieces of advice. So hopefully, guys, you are taking notes and taking just this advice, because every entrepreneur has to go through this same road. And Jordyn just gave you guys a nice little bit of insight into what has gotten her to the place where she is today. So Jordyn, so kind of on those same lines, what would you say are the top 3 maybe skills or mindsets that you had to learn as an entrepreneur that has helped you?
So I had to, number one, grow my confidence, because before I started my business, my confidence levels aren't where they were today. I mean, where they are today. So I've definitely grown in that, which is amazing. And obviously, it's very important to have confidence as a business owner, because number one, if you have employees, you're going to need to establish your authority. And it's going to be important for you to learn how to communicate with others. And if you don't have confidence, it's going to be very difficult to communicate your ideas. Also, you need to learn how to accept feedback. So while you are being confident, you don't want to be prideful, think that everything that you're doing is right, because sometimes there will be better ideas than yours. And you need to accept that, and accept the fact that maybe some people aren't going to like your ideas as much as they might like someone else's. and just really taking feedback from people like your employees and your customers, or people who maybe have a little bit more experience from you. And also, you do need to grow your communication skills. So like I said, you will need to communicate with the team if you do want employees, and you'll also need to communicate well with your customers through your packaging. So what is your story? And you'll need to learn how to communicate that, not just through packaging, but also through like person to person talking, like face to face. You will need to learn how to do that, because if you can't talk, it's going to be really hard for you to explain why they need your product. And it's going to be really hard for you to find a support group, because you can't explain what you're trying to say to these people and what message you're trying to communicate. So, yeah.
Awesome. Very, very awesome. Very wise. And so we know that with all success comes challenges, right? So,
Definitely.
what would you say were some of the challenges that you have experienced in your business, and just what have you learned after going through those?
So writing my book was actually quite challenging, because obviously I was very busy, so I was planning an a YBK event, so Young Biz Kids event, also while I was writing the book, and I had a lot of homework, and it was just hard to manage my time, and so it was hard to keep motivated, because I'm obviously struggling to balance all these things. So while I'm doing that, it was hard to stay motivated, and I kind of lost motivation a little bit through the way. So, but then I did write a chapter about motivation actually in my book, and I actually just went back and reread that and remembered why I was actually doing this. So I had to kind of go back and think about why I was actually writing the book and who I was writing the book for. Because if I was just writing the book for me, then obviously I wouldn't have written it, because this book was obviously for others, and to help others who might be struggling, or who maybe just need that little bit extra guidance so that they can easier get through their business. And so I just had to remember why I had done this. So my lesson that I learned from this was actually to don't really focus on yourself when you are doing something for your business, but really think about the others that may be impacted by it. So
That is so wise. So, where does all of this wisdom come from? Would you say that
uh,
it's learned, or just, I mean, because you're very, very wise in your journey here. So, where would you say that that comes from?
uh, so obviously the Lord, and first of all, and also through my journey, and my mom, she's a very wise person, and she helps me a lot with stuff like this. So she also kind of reminded me that I need to go back and think about, not just myself, but also think about who would be impacted by it. So definitely my mom and the Lord. So.
I love it. Yes, moms and Jesus, love it. And so now you mentioned, balancing school and business. So how do you manage it all? Your school and your business. How do you kind of keep it all together as far as your schedule?
Yeah, so I basically do my schoolwork first. So I try to get as much done as I can in a day, so that I do have more time later to do my business. So just planning ahead and thinking about the assignments that are the hardest, so that I can get those done and out of the way first, so that I do have more time to work on other things that may be important for my business, or areas of my business that may be struggling right now. So that I can really just focus on that, and while still getting my schoolwork done and having everything turned in on time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so now, Jordan, how would you define success? Everybody has their own definition, but what is your personal definition of success?
So my personal definition of success would be health. So obviously, when you usually think of success, society has taught us to think of success as riches or fame, or just, yeah, riches or fame. And so, but I think that it's health, because you can be rich and you can be famous, but you still won't be fulfilled by that, because there are a lot of rich and famous people who are depressed and who are anxious all the time. And I think that that definition of success is not real fulfillment. So I think success would definitely be health. So the first thing you want to do in order to have the reserve fame, in order to have that kind of success, is be healthy. You want to have your mind in the right place, because if your mind isn't healthy, you're never going to be fulfilled. It's never going to be enough for you. So you have to make sure that you have the right mindset, and you're taking care of yourself while also serving others. Because if you're not serving others, you're never going to be fulfilled. Because if everything's about you, then it's kind of just like, oh, I'll never have enough, you know? But if you start thinking about others, then it will be much easier for you to have the correct mindset and be a lot more fulfilled. So
I love it. I love it. Hopefully, you guys are taking notes out there. These are some really insightful nuggets that Jordyn has given us. We know as entrepreneurs, the journey can be long and hard, but Jordyn is really helping us with how she built her confidence, how she's gotten to where she is. And Jordyn, how old are you?
I'm 13.
13 years old. So I love it. You are helping some adults right now, just so that you know. So keep
Thank
doing
you.
what you are doing. And so, we kind of touched on this a little bit, but who has been like your greatest inspiration or like I know that you said your mom and the Lord earlier, but is there anybody else also where you glean that inspiration from?
So it's kind of myself. So my future self, kind of just thinking about the future and where I want to be then and what kind of person I want myself to be. It's really keeping me inspired and motivated to continue forward because obviously there are a lot of things that I want to do and maybe this business might not be it, but I know that this is definitely a stepping stone that can help me towards the future that I want. Um, and it's just really helped me to keep going, whenever I feel like giving up. Aside from the people that I want to help, also, what I want to do in the future. So that's just been something and someone who's really inspired me.
That is super awesome. And so now I bet your friends think that what you're doing is super cool. Like, what are their thoughts about it? Are they inspired to start their own businesses too, or are they just totally impressed with what you're doing?
Yeah, actually, my two best friends, they did start their businesses a while after I did. I'm not sure if they are still doing their businesses, but I think they did start them. And one of them actually makes t-shirts, and the other she actually crochets these cute little things, and she creates like dolls and stuff. They make me so happy. But yeah, and so they actually started their businesses, and those are my two closest friends. I mean, my other friends, I kind of just met them at school,
Yeah, yeah. That is
so I
super
haven't really talked much to them about it yet. So yeah,
awesome.
thank
That
you.
is super great. I think we're having some glitches here, but that's fine. That is
Yeah.
awesome. And just know that you are inspiring just so many. And so if you are watching this, if you have a teen, relative, neighbor, church person, if you know anybody who is a teenager, a tween, a preteen, tag their families. They're probably on social media. Tag them because I want every young people to see what is possible. I mentioned earlier that when I was 13, I wasn't even thinking about owning a business, and partly was because I didn't have any examples of it. I didn't even really know about owning a business at 13. I was not exposed to that. So tag your people because there's a saying that says rising tides raises all boats. So that means that if we help our community, if we help pour into our community and to raise the tide, then we all win. So we know that our young people are our future. And, there's a lot to come, well, we hear a lot of complaining about young people, but there are tons of young people who are doing amazingly extraordinary things, just like Jordyn. And the world needs to hear about them. So definitely, if you want to see more young entrepreneurs in your cities, tag your families, tag your friends who have children her age and preteens, and just show them what's possible. We just need to see what's possible so that it can spark something inside of us, right? Okay, so Jordyn, have you read any books that have really inspired you? Share with us some of the
Yeah.
titles that
So business wise, the book that has inspired me the most is Rich Dad Poor Dad because it was interesting to see their mindsets and their perspectives on just life in general and also money. So that's one book that has really inspired me. And I actually first read it like a long time ago because it was just laying around our house. I was actually pretty little when I first read it. And I only read the first chapter because I found it boring, but then I went back and reread it later. And it actually was really interesting to me. And then artistically, a book that has inspired me is The Phantom Toll Booth. by I forgot who it was by, but it was a very artistic and creative book. And I don't think anyone else could have thought of the concepts in it. And so whenever I'm feeling like creative like block, I just read that book and it helps to, get my mind right and get it flowing. So yeah.
Awesome. And it's called the Phantom
Toll booth.
Toolbox. Say it
Toll
again.
booth. Like
Toll
toll booth.
Booth. The
Yeah.
Phantom Toll Booth. Okay, that's a new title. I haven't heard of that one. I will
Yeah.
definitely put that there. So what is also, Jordyn, your favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur?
So I like the flexibility of it. So obviously, since I have homework and I have like different levels of homework each week, so it's really important that I can be able to be flexible because if you're working for someone else, obviously they dictate your hours and how much you get paid. So, but being an entrepreneur, I get to dictate that, and I also get to be creative with what I want to do. No one else is determining like what I'm doing for me, so I get to determine that. And also, I like to help others because like when you're doing a job, obviously you can be helping others, but not like directly. I like directly helping others through what I'm doing and seeing others change with my products and like in a positive way. So that's something that I really enjoy about being an entrepreneur.
That's awesome. I love it. And so now we know that you've had lots of successes along your journey. If you can just brag on yourself, what is like maybe one or two things that you are extremely proud of yourself for accomplishing?
Definitely my book and overcoming my fear of speaking is two really big things for me. I think my book was a really big accomplishment because I mean, I've written before, but I've never actually thought about writing a book, and I thought that might have been like a bit too big for me. But then when I did it, I was just like really surprised, and I was really um, just happy about it. And also, a lot of people did help me, so I would just like to say thank you to my mom and Miss Ariel Biggs. I believe she is on Facebook. I think her account is Ariel Biggs Evans or something. Yeah, I'll put her in the chat down below. But yeah, she really helped me with that. And also, overcoming my fear of speaking was a big issue for me. But I did do it, and now I get to speak to classes. I'm currently speaking at Hightower. They are my favorite class ever. They are just perfection, and I love them so much, and they are my favorite class that I've ever spoken to. And I'm just really glad that I can do that now, because if I hadn't overcome my fear of speaking and I had tried, I had stayed in my comfort zone, then I would have never been able to do this and help them to build their businesses. So I'm just really excited about that.
I love it. I love it. You're such an inspiration, Jordyn.
Thank you.
So when you are not being the CEO of this major company and you're not bogged down with homework, what are your hobbies? What types of things do you like for fun?
Yeah, so I like all things art. So I love doing makeup and I love writing and drawing and just everything artistic. I love photography and I love fashion design. So those are just some things, actually, those are the jobs that I want in the future. I know it's a lot of jobs, but I kind of want to do like this thing where I have my own studio and I do photography for different models and I want to kind of do it like all myself. I can have helpers, but I kind of want to interact with those things myself as well. And I also do like to hang out with my friends and sometimes my brothers if they're not getting on my nerves at the moment.
Of course, of course. I love it. And so now, what types of sacrifices do you feel like you've had to make just to kind of get to where you are today in your business?
The only sacrifice I think I had to make is getting out of my comfort zone. So just sacrificing my comfort. And that is something that I know a lot of people struggle with. Like they they're only thinking about their comfort and themselves. And that's just not really a great mindset to have because honestly, the whole point of a business is not about you. It's not just about being creative and having time to yourself or doing whatever you want to do or just doing what you love. It's really all about serving others. So that's really important. So getting out of my comfort zone, I think my mom really pushed me for this because I was before also kind of thinking about my comfort and not really think about like the impact that I could make. And so, but now that I've gotten over that, I can help people. And the only thing that I have sacrificed is my comfort to get there. So, yeah.
That's amazing. I love it. So before we get to our last question, let me just check the comments here and see what we have. Thank you, Anissa, for putting the website down there. Ariel Bivens Big says, I'm so proud of you, Jordyn. And your mom said, yes, health service and then wealth, awesomeness. And then BB McGowan says, awesomeness, very inspiring. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for dropping your comments in the section here. If you have any more, even after the broadcast is over, if you're watching this on the replay, feel free to still put your comments below, and I will be sure that Jordyn gets your comment, question, or question, so that she can address it appropriately. So Jordyn, where do you see yourself and your business in the next 3 years?
Yeah, so in the next 3 years, hopefully I'll be done with high school and college. So I will be at art school, hopefully, and I will be starting my career in fashion design and photography. So those are the two things that I want to do for my business. So obviously what I'm focusing on right now is teaching people how to care for themselves and make themselves so that they can, how they care about themselves, how they feel about themselves. So making them feel good about themselves through care. And so what I want to do is with my fashion photography, I want to do that for my models. So obviously there is a lot of like strict representation in the media, like it's extremes. So it's either extremely light or extremely dark or extremely thin or extremely big. And I want to do people who are kind of in the middle, like a broad range of these sizes and colors, because they're all really beautiful and I want people to know that. And I want to do that through my designs and through my photography. Just getting more representation, because I can see the beauty in everyone, and though not everyone can see your beauty, I want you to know that you still are beautiful, even if maybe you can't even see it yourself. So
love it. That is awesome. So what lasting words of wisdom would you leave a teenager who may be, wanting to start their business, but not quite sure, kind of out of their comfort zone, not quite sure if they want to step out, or, just in that in between of wanting to start, but just, not quite sure how to step out there? What advice would you give them, or lasting word?
yes, so I would say stop thinking about it, because if you are thinking about it, you can talk yourself into talking yourself out of it. So just really go for it and just stop thinking about it. Just if you're having doubts, just don't try and, like, if you know that some people are going to say no, don't ask them for their opinions, And if some people are like, if you have negative people around um in your circle, then remove them, because obviously they're not going to support you, and you need people who are going to support you and who actually see the potential in your ideas. So definitely just stop thinking about it and surround yourself with positive people.
I love it. And then drop your website one more time.
Yeah, okay. Do that right now. Yeah, okay. So does anyone have any questions in the comments that they want to ask me, or?
I think let's see. And so while we are looking, just go ahead and then tell us what your website is one more
Yeah.
time for us, Jordyn.
I just put it in the chat. It's
Okay.
jbrielle.com though, yeah.
Gotcha. I do see it. Okay. Um, thank you guys. Okay, so if nobody has any more questions, then Jordyn, I just want to say thank you for taking your time. I know that you're super busy. It's a school night.
Yeah.
So just thank you for taking time to pour into other people, young and old, with your wisdom and your knowledge. I think that you're going to go very far in life. I'm super proud of you, and I just look forward to seeing what Brielle is going to end up being, or just Jordyn Wright, your studio, everything that you have. I look forward to seeing you blossom and shine. So thank you, young lady.
Thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun.
Oh, awesome. Bye, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye, Jordyn.
Bye.